Hello, and welcome back to Doomed, solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. Today's third scenario in our current campaign, Return to the Path to Carcosa, featuring me, and featuring you, the viewers, and featuring Sefina Rousseau. Welcome one and all. I'm very excited to be back. As those of you who are watching live will know, I was having a lot of trouble with the thing that we were going to be doing today instead, so instead, all you get a fabulous Doomed episode instead, including those of you watching on YouTube. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can use the time code below in the comments to skip to when we start the actual playthrough, because I will no doubt be chatting up a storm with the folks here in chat. Oh, damn it. Ah, shoot. Okay. Whew. Well, at least that navbot isn't on the recording. I'm going to change it. I'm coming in hot. Thanks. Thank you to Lemira and the Crosshair, who are both here. I went and I changed them all just... I changed everything so that it would be ready for today. Playthrough of... See, I'm writing them really fast. You ready? Wish I could spell, though. So, how's everybody doing? Whee! Copy. Submit. Paste. Submit. Done. Phew. Oh. You have to catch up the previous episode. Crosshair. Oh, okay, Lemira. Hang on, I want to ask about this. Crosshair, I would like to know, not dead and not hungry. I mean, not, like, too bad, obviously, but just in keeping with the theme of Doomed, like, not insane yet, Crosshair. Okay. Ranty! Hello. May I call you Ranty, or should I call you Hedgehog? Sonic! He can really rant. Ranty, I'm glad to hear that you're recovering. I hope you feel better. I hope I can provide you some entertainment over the next couple of hours. Crosshair, do you want me to give you the Cole's Notes, the synopsis of last episode? Or do you want to go into this somewhat blind, but knowing that there'll be spoilers? Lemira! I'm doing well. I've had a day of work so far. I'm excited to be doing this. I would have probably, honestly, been more excited to be doing the other thing. But those of you watching on the VOD, I'm very excited to bring you another episode of Doomed. Among Us sounds like it was a good time. I hope it was. I like to imagine people playing Among Us like just on their phone in the dark and just like, oh, I wonder if they'll get... Just like a pure horror game. That's how I like to... Cold Notes. Okay, no worries, Crosshair. That's cool. Just, that's all good. So then, in that case, folks, I do like to do a little bit of a catch-up anyway for the VOD viewers. Today on Doomed, we will be taking on the third scenario of Return to the Path to Carcosa, Echoes of the Past. Now, we don't know what exactly is going on as of yet. Yes, I love those episodes of television. There's like, they're in a gun standoff, and someone's like, "Don't do it, man!" And then it, you know, cut to just like 6 hours previously or whatever. I like those. It's a bit of a cheap trick, but it works for me. Speaking of cheap tricks, it's me playing Doom. So Sefina Rousseau, after her experience at the Ward Theatre, tracked down the cast party for the production of The King in Yellow that she saw. By venturing through the house and through the insanity of said house, she was able to interview a few of the key people. What's the word I'm looking for? A few of the key production and cast members of the show. She was unable to deal with the stranger and the man in the pallid mask. She did manage to get away from all of the horrific monsters. So yeah, she managed to get some experience. She managed to take out one horrific beast specifically, which is great news, and interview a few. So I feel pretty good about that. Keeple. Lemira just wanted to say something. I am kidding, of course. I know, are Keeple like the people, but instead of meeple, they're Keeple? from among us? Like, what is happening? It's just a word. Keep people. Okay, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. We'll head over in the meantime. Okay, I understand. Key people. Sir, how dare you, Lamira? How dare you venture into this, my home, and you rant about my tentacles over here and my stone, what is it, a chimney? It doesn't even matter what it is. You come into my home, and you rant about my things. Crosshair. Nothing personal, but I'm just gonna have a quick look in the bag. 1 tentacle. 1 elder sign. I know my face is over them. 2 tablets, which always looks like tentacles to me. And 3 skulls. Oh, and a bunch of numbers. Most of them have a minus. That's great. You know what? Sorry for going off there, folks. I'm not sorry. As always, let me know if the audio tracks are good. We'll read our... Interesting, Crosshair. We'll, of course, be reading our agenda and our act. We'll be drawing our opening hand. Before that, we'll be looking at the intro to the scenario and a quick reminder of where we were coming from last... No reminder, because Crosshair is going to catch up. Scenario 3. Echoes of the Past. Your head throbs with a dull ache as you drive through the rainy streets of Arkham toward your next destination. The threat of the stranger looms in your mind, as well as the threat of this cat wandering towards me. Hi, cat. Are you going to knock things over? Okay. And you find yourself glancing often at your rearview mirror, expecting to see the expressionless visage of his... Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. This scared me. She leapt up onto the computer tower at that exact moment that I was like, you keep glancing backwards into the rearview mirror, expecting to see the face of the cat staring back at you. Quick side note, FFG releases standalone scenarios and various sort of other supporting materials for Arkham quite often. It's not a dead game. Like Netrunner, I'm not mad about that. And they specifically just released a scenario, or a pack anyway, called Arkham Horror, where you can play as a few different dogs. And you specifically play against the cats of Meowlathatep, which is a play on Nyarlathotep, one of the ancient ones. Good times. Okay. So you're in the car, and Seph's in her car, which, you know, it's probably pretty wealthy little Rolls Royce there with all her forgery money. Instead... I know, Crosshair, I think that's a great idea. I know Liz and I have spoken at length about the game, and specifically about the idea of, you know, do you want to play a game that takes a few hours and you still have the, like, well, shit, sometimes you lose kind of feeling. I have played games that take 6 hours, and I knew in hour 1 that I wasn't going to win. That doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel bad, because it could be fun. I find this game exciting. I think we can probably make it work. Instead, you see... So now we'll get back to the thing where people can... Okay. Instead, you see nothing but the misty, starless night and the deserted road behind you. Your thoughts once again wander, as they have often in the past few hours, to the King in Yellow and to the city of Carcosa and its inhabitants. What was the message hidden inside that awful play, the meaning within its madness? A lone detail worms its way to the forefront of your thoughts, one made apparent by the discussions you'd overheard at Miss Dumaine's estate, that tonight's performance of the King in Yellow was not the first Arkham had seen of the foul play. There had been at least one other performance directed by the same man, Nigel Engram. There is one place in Arkham where records are often kept of important events occurring within the city, the Historical Society's Manor House in Southside. If there are any records of the previous show of the King in Yellow, the Historical Society may have held on to them. Perhaps there you will find answers to the questions that burn in your mind. Sefina, realizes, obviously and immediately, if there's anything to be learned about the production, she needs to know what happened in the wake of the previous production here in the city. Did it spell doom for the community? Did it bring chaos to the city or some such. Check the campaign log. If Sebastian Moreau is listed under VIP's interviews, proceed to Sebastian's information. Sebastian is one of the people we managed to interview. He was the loudmouthed producer, visionary. He was called a visionary. And we managed to interview him between bouts with a mad woman. It's good. You recall what Sebastian told you during the dinner party. The King in Yellow had come to Arkham several decades ago. Take that, Julian. I'm glad we're on the same page here, Crosshair. That's good. The art, it could be Julian. It could be like a 20s version of him. Okay, well, if he's... Because there's also the money. I guess that would be... Oh, that's none of us. Right, we have no money. Good, okay. The King in Yellow had come to Arkham several decades ago, long before the Ward Theater was built. According to him, it isn't surprising that few people remember. In fact, part of their goal tonight was to bring the King in Yellow to a wider audience. The Historical Society may have kept records pertaining to this earlier production, especially if it was followed by events similar to what has occurred tonight. Perhaps you can find some newspaper clippings or other articles describing what happened in the past. After you put the entry hallway into play, place a clue on it. Sweet. So I went through all that trouble to interview him, and all I got was this lousy clue. I'm just going to do that now as we proceed to set up, so that we don't forget. Gather all the cards, randomly choose one of each society location. So I've done pretty much all of this. Based on the number of players, if there's one player, no changes are made. Great. Check the campaign log. If you fled the dinner party, you arrive at the Historical Society with time to spare. Each investigator can take one additional action during their first turn. Woo! I'm just going to make sure that we did. Yeah, we did. Okay, just checking. So we have an extra action, which I will denote with an extra token. Keep it over there. So we've arrived with time to spare. Sefina did run away. I have a cat on my lap, and how am I supposed to play the game when I have a cat on my lap? Gosh. Okay, so the Historical Society is absolutely massive. We start here in the entry hall, which is connected to 2 ground floor rooms. You can head down to the basement, which is also connected to 2 rooms, the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor, each of which have 2 rooms. But we're going to start in the entry hall. Yeah. Agenda 1A. The truth is hidden. Surprisingly, the front doors of the Historical Society's Georgian Manor are cracked halfway open when you arrive. Who else could be here at this hour? Do not add doom to this agenda during the mythos phase. It actually should say, skip the place 1 doom on the current agenda step. Like, yeah, it's a very specific distinction, but it's an important one. Now I have to get my webcam settings out here again because it's gotten dark. It's getting dark, folks. Advanced settings. There we go. Now you can see my beautiful face. Hello, Kung Fu Fenris. You're just in time. Sefina Rousseau has arrived at the Arkham Historical Society. Man, that's loud in here. Man, all these discordant sounds are so loud. It's like they're in my mind. Sefina Rousseau has arrived at the Arkham Historical Society hoping to find information about the King in Yellow, specifically a previous production of it from several or many years before. Oh my goodness, what's all that sound? What is that? Ah! What is Paul say? I honestly don't even know. Like, my impression of Paul Prospero is terrible. Okay. After one or more clues are placed on an enemy, flip them to their doom side. Normally, when you have the game, all the tokens are clue on one side, doom on the other, which is kind of fun. Look at that little face. What a cutie. Yes, I am admiring my own face. Deal with it. So, if there are enemies, they are claiming clues for themselves. But we don't place doom. during the mythos phase, which is good. Act 1A, Race for Answers. Each of the Historical Society's many rooms contains records and documents that may aid you in your search for answers about the King in Yellow. There must be something here that can guide you towards the truth. Hello, Boschoff! Welcome. We're just about to draw our opening hand, so great timing. So we're going to start here in the entrance hall, which has an additional clue on it. Thanks, Sebastian's information. Eye roll. It's only an eye roll because Seth's not great at getting clues, but... Hey, it's a clue and it's on our location. Maybe we can just grab it. I don't know. We'll see. Sefina has arrived. The door is already slightly ajar. It's unlikely that if there was someone there late at night that they would leave the door open. So she's a little worried that someone, like her, has broken in. Although, maybe they're here for unsavory reasons and she's here for the goodness, out of the goodness of her own heart. Oh, fantastic, Kung Fu Fenris. Yeah, no, enjoy. CK3, just like, party. That requires focus, I've heard. Enjoy. Let's draw our opening hand. We get to take an extra action. Oh, I should mention I spent some experience. Sefina's now streetwise. Look at that. I think that's meant to be Wendy Adams the urchin, like the little 12-year-old girl. She's got a knife! Spend money to get +3 book or +3 agility. You can use some of the resources that you earn on the streets or, from your experience to boost your ability to get away, or look for things. We call these street smarts. It's the difference between wisdom and intelligence, folks. Let's draw our opening hands. Yeah, let's draw our opening hand. Let's get doomed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a weakness. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a weakness. 13. Woo! That's a lot of cards. It's a lot of cards, and that is a lot of events to choose from, actually, which is great news. I have to choose up to 5 events to place them beneath Sefina Rousseau. I don't see any money in my opening hand, which means I won't be able to play a lot of the events that I'm going to put beneath Sefina, unfortunately. But it's not the worst, because I have other things. I'm just choosing, different events, right? Deny existence. Do I want I think I want the backstab down there, too. Crosshair, you know how I play everything that I've ever done. Okay. So here's the thing. If I invite aid from Leo DeLuca, I got no resources left. Sucks. That sucks. So I don't think we're going to take our good friend Leo as of now. Sefina creeps into the entry hall. A long, warm hall and 2 grand staircases, as well as going down to the basement, greet you as you enter the manor house of Arkham's Historical Society. It's a 2-shroud location. It has no clues, but it has one because of Sebastian's information. The entry hall is connected to each other ground floor location. Of course, the first thing that we're going to do with our free action, absolutely classic Sefina play. Sefina brought her lockpicks along. She didn't need them when she was at the party, and of course you wouldn't bring them to a play. Sefina realizes that if she's going to be checking out the Arkham Historical Society at this hour, it was unlikely that there'd be someone at the front door in the first place, to greet her at the door anyway. She did find the front door unlocked, but she assumes that there'll be some obstacles to her investigating. So, like the good rogue she is, she brought her lockpicks. Ella, I'm so sorry. I really like you, but I just don't think it's gonna work today, bud. Lockpicks help us investigate. So actually our second, well, that was a bonus action. There we go. Our bonus action was to play them out. Our first action is going to be to investigate. Exhaust lockpicks and investigate. Add your agility value to your skill value. If you don't succeed by at least 2, remove a supply. We have 2 intellect and 4 agility, so I'm investigating at a 6. Right here in the entry hall. -1, that's a clue, and we don't have to remove a supply. Sefina creeps in the front door. It's deathly silent, but with the front door ajar, she knows she has to be quiet because there is someone else here. Unless, of course, the owner of the manager of the Historical Society simply forgot to close the door on their way out. Stranger things have happened. Creeping over to the small sort of like the entryway in the vestibule behind a locked door, an easily picked locked door, Sefina finds a map to the Historical Society, giving her a sense of the layout and a sense of where she needs to go in order to get to the information that she thinks she's going to need. So I got a clue, which is fantastic. I only need 2 to advance, and then that's acts 2 and 3. Okay. So, do I want to play anything else? I don't think so. I just, like, throw stuff into this test. I can, like, toss stuff. Quick thinking. Second action, we're going to move on. Do I want to... Here's the question. Do I want to go into one of the rooms here on the ground floor, or upstairs, or downstairs? Crosshair, if you're listening. / anyone, if you're listening. Ah! Crosshair's all about the creepy basement. That was fast. That was quick, Crosshair. I like it. Nothing bad happens in the basement. Sefina and Lamira agrees. Good. Everyone's in agreement about the creepy basement. Quick PS, I am in the midst of looking into and attempting to organize to the basement. Bashov, you go first. Okay, you go first. I'm in the midst of looking into how to most effectively stream and share a film so that we can all have a creepy movie night together. Night. Doesn't have to be night, because I realize, 6 p.m. for me is like 3 a.m. for some people. It's like 1 a.m. for some people. So we're moving down to the basement. These are the quiet halls. Your footsteps echo off the stone floor as you descend into the basement below the manor. It's okay, Crosshair. I'm gonna be scared. I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna be like, guys, what's happening? Using the map that Sefina's discovered, she's realized almost immediately, of course, that while there are more or less sort of exhibits on different floors, the basement is where they would keep archives, right? Things tucked out of the way. Seeing as she's never heard of this previous production of The King in Yellow, presumably it's not on display anywhere. So it would be downstairs in the other, in the sort of like, boxes. If each location in play is revealed and there are no clues if each location in play is revealed and there are no clues, place a clue. So, in other words, if you have looked in every room and there's no clues left, you can get more so you don't run out. That's good. But let's continue, shall we? Sefina's gonna go down the stairs and take a right for her, a left for us, right? An unadorned wooden door leads to one of the basement rooms used by the Historical Society. This is the dusty archives. Perfect. While you have at least one hidden card in your hand, you can investigate. I don't, but I'm out of actions. Okay. So not bad. Sefina's crept down to the basement. She has a very small flashlight. She's got her lockpicking kit, and she is keeping several ears out for the sounds of other people here in the house. Damn it, Crosshair. There's no enemies, so we move straight into the upkeep phase, where I ready my lockpicks, I draw a card, and gain a resource. It's more lockpicks. You never know. And you might need even more of them. We go to 1. Oh no, I don't place Doom. I knew that. Skip the place of Doom. So there's no Doom in play, so instead I just draw an encounter card. Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take a damage. Oh, I forgot that this card exists. A shadowy figure follows you in the rain inside the house. The rain is coming from inside the house. When you look at it, your head pounds in agony and your vision blurs. This is actually from the core set. I remember this from Midnight Masks. Agnes Baker was hunted by many a shadow. Okay. Spend a clue or take a damage. I'm going to choose to take 2 damage, but I can deny existence. Deny existence says play when an enemy or an encounter would cause you to do one of these things. Don't do it. So I'm just going to... Done. Boom. That's illogical in many ways. Well, Crosshair, it's the feel... Whoa! Oh, Zesty, you scared the hell out of me, man. Phew. We're in the basement, Zesty. It's terrifying. Sefina whirls around as she as the light from her... Exactly, RJ! Exactly. Can you... Ooh, I'm gonna get you! Nope! And then she just vanishes. She just, like, vanishes in a puff of logic. The hunting shadow... behind her on the wall, the light from her flashlight illuminates a tall, gangly shadow. It's leaning over her. She whirls around and denies the fact that there could be anyone there. It's not possible. She's been looking around. She's been keeping an ear out. And it's true. There's nothing there when she turns around. Okay, well, I burned my deny existence. That's okay. We're back in the investigation phase. Huh. It's just a coat on a hanger. If anyone's, well, any of the adaptations of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, when Scrooge is looking through his house for extra ghosts, he usually comes across his nightgown. He thinks it's a ghost, and he, like, hits it, right? My favorite nightgown. Atheistic cleric, using projected disbelief. I firmly believe that there is nothing true in this world. Meow, 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 meow. That's denial. Let's investigate down here, shall we? This is the Dusty Archives. I don't have any hidden cards in my hand, so I can. Let's investigate. I'm going to use my lockpicks to try to get into a few different cases, boxes, closets. There's all sorts of, dust-covered stuff down here. Sefina is looking around, seeing what she can find. I'm gonna throw in this quick thinking. Not that I need it, but I think rats? It's very possible, Crosshair. Don't you worry, Crosshair. I'm sure we're gonna find something. So I have 6 combined skill values, 7 with quick thinking. No, Crosshair, there's no rats. Just the sweet, sweet smell of failure. So I lose, I lose a supply. As Sefina is looking around through the dusty archives, she again hears what she assumes is a creak on the floorboards behind her. She whirls around, but in doing so, snaps the end of one of her lockpicks. Damn it. I needed those. That sucks. Okay, well, I can't use the lockpicks again, and there's no way I'm going to be able to investigate here. So do we just take resources? Or do I play my other lockpicks, and then I just double lockpick it up, back and forth? It seems really silly. I'll eventually draw into some money, right? It's not the worst idea. Good thing she always brings a spare, our friend Sefina. I'm gonna use these lockpicks. Isn't that weird? They're not unique. I'm allowed to have 2? Yeah. They take up a hand slot each, so she now has like fistfuls of lockpicks, and she's like, well, shit, let's try these. Let's try Old Faithful. So I'm going to investigate using these lockpicks. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be like a spooky role-playing storytelling time, and instead I've just got like fistfuls of lockpicks, jamming them in every hole that I can find. Sorry, gross. Dual-wielding the lockpicks, pretty much. Let's investigate. I am a 6-on-3. Skull minus X. X is the highest number of doom on an enemy in play. 0. So I succeeded by at least 2. I don't lose a thing, but I get the clues. Every hole. No, not every. That's not what I meant. That's not quite what I meant. Hi, Ella. Are you back? Yeah, you really want to come sit with me, eh? Okay. Come here. You can be the official doomed cat. Ugh. Ugh, crosshair. Okay, so we've got our dual lockpicks down because I'm absolutely wild in that way. It needs 2 clues to advance, but I won't do that yet. I will wait to see what mythos brings me. There's no enemies, so in upkeep I ready both my sets of lockpicks. Just wild. I draw a card and gain a resource. It's a ward of protection. Oh, lockpicks akimbo. Oh, I love it. In the mythos phase, I don't place doom on the agenda because enemies will be stealing clues to turn them into doom. And instead I draw a card. Locked door. Attached to the location with the most clues and without a locked door. It cannot be investigated. The most clues. Well, there's 0 clues on every location in play, which I'm just going to go ahead and assume that means that I can put it where I want, rather than I have to put it at a location. Yeah, I don't have to put it at a location that is unrevealed. Yeah, exactly. So I'm putting it right here in the Dusty Archives. Seth manages to find some information about the fact that there was... Oh, good point, actually, Crosshair, you're right. I'm going to put it here instead, you're right, at the Quiet Halls, because you could, yeah. I mean, theoretically, most of these locations will have clues on them, but I don't know yet because I haven't flipped them. As Seth is getting ready to head back into the Quiet Halls, she remembers the locked door at the end of the hall, wondering what could be behind it. Her curiosity is getting the better of her, but that's not why she's here. So that was Mythos phase. Now, of course I'm going to say this, and of course I'm going to regret saying this. Not bad so far. Okay. In the investigation phase, we're going to spend 2 of our clues to advance the act. Act 1B, Late Night Studies. You find a record kept by one of the Society's historians pertaining to the, quote, dreadful events surrounding the closing of an old theater in Arkham, the Cedar Playhouse. Yeah, I know, Crosshair, right? Though there was no explicit... While there was no explicit mention of the King in Yellow, you believe you are on the right track. The historian's notes are cut short, and there is a faded, handwritten page clipped to the final entry. This matter is too ghastly for the public eye. I assume he sounds kind of like an old man. I am placing the remainder of this record in the hidden library. All further inquiries should be done away from prying eyes, for this is a dangerous matter, and not one to be researched lightly. For each revealed Historical Society location, add a clue to it. Okay, so the entry halls don't count. The only revealed one is this dusty-ass study, so there's a clue. There's still a clue right here in the archives. That's actually very funny. Act 2A, Mistakes of the Past. Somewhere in the manor is a hidden library, where you might be able to find more information about the King in Yellow. You must find the way in if you are to continue your investigation. Ah, explicit. Explicit, huh? Forced, after the investigators advance to Act 2, or Act 3, spawn a set-aside Keeper of the Oath in any empty Historical Society location. Ooh, what's that? That doesn't sound good. Oh, God. There's 2 of them, eh? I'm gonna put him... Ooh, let's have a look at this guy first, eh? Just a little Connery schlip. We call that the old Connery schlip. Oh, this doesn't look good at all. This is a humanoid cultist, Keeper of the Oath. There is someone here! 5 fight, 3 health, 3 evade. Looks beefy. Does a damage and a horror, but it has victory 0, which means if I defeat him, he goes right into the old victory display. While the number of the current act is greater than the number of the current agenda, it gains Hunter, so it's coming for me. God damn it, Lamar. At the end of the enemy phase, find each investigator whose location shares a trait with the Keeper of the Oath's location. Shares a trait. A trait. Ground floor. Basement. Passageway. Okay. Move 1 clue from each of these investigators to the Keeper of the Oath! He steals my shit! Oh my god, he's stealing my shit! Okay, but he's coming for me, and he is Beef City, folks. Well, that's concerning. Okay. Oh, that's really concerning, actually. That was the beginning of the investigation phase, because I just placed the locked door. Okay. It's all good, Lemira. Okay. As a quick aside, I was wondering, it's been a long time since I've played this campaign and these scenarios, but while the last one that we played, Scenario 2, The Last King, is considered by many people, especially me, to be like one of the best scenarios in the game, because it's just so flavorful, so thematic. There's a really big sliding scale of how well versus how poorly you can do. It's not binary, right? It's not just like, well, did you do it or did you not do it? It's like, how many did you get? How dead are you? Etc. This scenario is somewhat reviled in this campaign for being too swingy. It's either super easy or impossible, because depending on what enemies you get, sometimes the enemies just suck up all the clues and you lose really fast. Sometimes they come for you and that's it. Sometimes you don't draw any enemies and it's fine. However, you can see in the Return To version, they've added this text. It says, spawn a set-aside Keeper of the Oath in any empty Historical Society location after the advanced Act 2 or 3. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to place him way the hell up here on the 3rd floor so that he's as far away as possible. Because I don't need to deal with him yet. He is going to steal clues from me if he shares a trait with my location. All of the traits of the locations are their floor. 400 IQ. Lemira, 200. How much IQ is normal? What's a normal IQ, please? Thank you. Okay. So we don't know this, of course. Yeah, oh, true, Crosshair. I should also point out this basement location has a passageway trait. Ooh, what could it mean? The Keeper of the Oath. So again, Seth doesn't know exactly what's happening. Excuse me, Boshoff. Excuse me. But there is somebody here. Somebody who wishes to keep the oath. Hopefully what I can do is go in for a really big attack and just like murk this guy. Hashtag murk. Got it. IQ 69, IQ 420. Got it. I understand. I understand the jokes and the memes. See, I'm really cool. That's why I'm playing Arkham Horror, the card game, on a stream on Twitch on a Saturday afternoon. That was an ironic dab. I should just be real clear about that. I need money in the game. I need money. Okay. So Seth can try to get... Oh, actually. Yeah. And dab. Yeah, what year is it? I need 2 clues. The Keeper of the Oath is a hunter for now, and he steals clues from me if he's on my floor. Which he's not right now, which is okay. Ella, this is so fucking uncomfortable. God damn it. This cat is making Doomed really difficult. Shockingly. Okay. First things first, we gotta get this clue, and then we're gonna keep looking for clues, right? I was listening to non-dad rock and kicking it with my homeboys and or girls. Zesty, it's like you know me. It's, oh my god, printed on a t-shirt, Zesty. I'd wear it. How are you doing, fellow kids? I don't have any hidden cards in my hand, so I can still investigate. Let's do it. I have 6 intellect and agility. So finding this scrap of paper, let's actually go back and finding this historian's note with the scrap of paper on the end saying that there's a hidden library. Seth is renewed in her energy. She's no longer looking for information about the King in Yellow. It's all hidden. Where is the library, though? Myra, I would never. This is actually much... It's not more fun than doing it myself, because those are more focused. But this is more... You know, it is more fun. What am I trying to say? It's more... Yeah, it's much more fun. Yeah, just shut up. It's good times. Okay, we're investigating. I'm a 6 on 3. 0! Yay! So I'll take the clue. Okay. We got a clue. That's 1. I could move, but I feel like I need to... I can't play anything. I feel like I should be looking for money. But instead, I will just move 2 locations. Another unadorned wooden door here in the basement. Let's see what this location is. Ooh! Whoa! This is the museum storage. Oh, no. It's 5 shroud and 2 clues. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Forced. When you investigate this location, if there is at least one cultist enemy in play, there is, it gets -3 shroud. That's good. If a bad stuff token is revealed during the test, move a clue from this location to the cultist enemy farthest from you. Wow. Okay. So in other words, if there are enemies around, it's easier for you to find stuff here. Big heart to all the people in chat, by the way. Thanks, folks. Thanks for watching. You know, I love this. So basically, if there are enemies, it's easier to look for things, but they also may steal them from you. I think that means, in other words, the storage might be connected to other parts of the building, and people may have already ransacked it. I have no comment at this time, Zesty. Sefina steps into the museum storage, noting the absolute huge amount of stuff in here, making investigating in here very difficult. I honestly actually might just leave this location and, you know, go away. In the enemy phase, our good friend, the Keeper of the Oath, hunts. Oh no, it doesn't share anything with me, right? It hunts into the 3rd floor, quiet halls. And we move to upkeep, where I ready my lockpicks, one of my 2 sets of lockpicks. Whoa. What did I do? And then I draw a card and gain a resource. It's pickpocketing. Okay, that's okay. Actually, that's not bad. He has 3 evade. I don't place Doom, so I've yet to place any Doom, which feels okay, but I imagine things are going to start going real south real fast. Yeah, visions in your mind, death. Okay, so, classic. I'm not even going to read it yet. Upon walking into the museum storage, there are a number of items from Arkham's past deemed either too boring or too gruesome to display in the society, including, Sefina notes with great interest, a guillotine. She looks at it. Exactly, Crosshair. Yes, Zesty, this is the 3rd scenario of the campaign that Sefina is in. The guillotine she looks at and, you know, blinks a few times, thinking to herself, what the hell? Like, those were never used here in Arkham? And then she looks closer and notices some dried blood, and then a vision of her own head on the floor. Visions in your mind, death, says, if you did not perform at least 1 move action during your turn, discard this card from your hand and take a direct damage and direct horror. So, it's going to really test me here. But basically, it's causing me to run from every room I'm in, which is kind of fun. So it's just there, though. That's okay. We're back to the investigation phase. Sefina's not going to stay here. We're going to run. 1, 2. Am I going to spend my whole turn moving? Yup, 3. Okay. Let's spend my whole turn moving. She runs out of the storage. The vision of her own decapitated head rolling around on the floor is a guillotine. Horrible. A guillotine. The vision of her own head on the floor, gazing up at her. It's gone as soon as she looks again, but she still can't take the feeling of being in that room, and she rushes out. I'm spending my whole turn to move back up here. Back up onto the ground floor, nearer to the exit, she tells herself. Just for a quick getaway, she tells herself. And we move into the meeting room. One of the chairs is knocked over and a hole is torn in the ceiling above. What could possibly have created such damage? A hole is torn in the ceiling above. Yikes. I can exhaust an ally asset to discover a clue here, though. Wish I had one. Wish I had an ally asset. I did move, so I don't have to visions in your mind here. In the enemy phase, the Keeper of the Oath draws ever closer. In the upkeep phase, we draw a card and gain a resource. Lone Wolf. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have a max hand size of 8, which means I have to discard something. I am going to discard this sneak attack of all things. Seems like a weird thing to discard. No, that's where we're at. Mythos phase, we don't add Doom to the agenda. And the Keeper of the Oath does not share a trait with my location, so he's not stealing my clues yet. Although actually, now that I think about it, I really need to get a clue stat so I can spend them in advance. But we will draw an encounter card. The King's Edict. For each cultist enemy in play, move a clue from that enemy's location to that enemy. There's no clues here, so nothing happens. It gains surge. Okay. The king has declared, you must find information for me, and then nothing happens. Hunting Shadow, a classic. You must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. I can also just cancel this. I have a Ward of Protection. I'm wondering if that makes the most sense. Just start getting money. And I don't really want to... I have 1 clue and I can get a second clue quite quickly. And I feel like that's the right play. So, again, having entered the meeting room, seeing this hole in the ceiling above, Seth is terrified that potentially there's maybe some sort of beast on the loose in here. It looks like absolutely massive damage. Someone knocked a hole in the ceiling and it does not look human-sized. Again, that long, towering shadow appears on the wall in front of her. Sefina whips around and arcane energy courses through her hand as she holds it up into the air. Light blasts out of it and the shadow vanishes. Sefina's not quite sure what that was that she just was able to do. And it terrifies her a little bit, this power that she has. This says, play when you draw a non-weakness treachery, cancel it, take a horror. So I did. Not bad, hey? Not bad at all. Okay, the investigation phase. Now, I want to get this clue. I'd like to move, and I'd like to play Lone Wolf. If I do all of those things, guess who's back? It's the Keeper of the Oath. If I get the clue... Okay, let's think about this. Sorry, Ella. You can sit there for a bit, okay? If I don't get the clue and advance, the Keeper of the Oath is going to come down and steal my clues. Yeah, and I don't want that. So I really want to get the clue before I do anything else, move or otherwise. So Sefina, in the meeting room, despite the huge hole in the ceiling, she sees all sorts of scattered notes on the table, and thinking that she can see maybe even some blueprints for the building, she's looking for something about the hidden library, a room that may or may not be normally accessible. She's looking for any information about it. So first things first, I'm going to see about trying to get a clue off this location. I'm investigating. I'm adding my agility value, which is 4. So I'm a 6 versus a 4, and I'm going to toss in something here, if I can. I can't. Do I care? 6v4? I want to play Leo eventually, so... whoops. No, I'll just test it. Tablet? -2 if you fail. I didn't fail. But I didn't pass by 2 or more, so... Seth loses some of her lockpicks on the run up. She realizes that some of her tools must have fallen out when she ran up from the basement. But she sure as hell ain't going back there. Pull another clue from this location, which is great. And we're going to spend them immediately in advance. As you rummage through a desk drawer, you are startled, in the meeting room, of course. This is, Act 2B, Secret Passageways. You are startled when you hear a voice behind you. Excuse me, can I help you? You are relieved to find the voice belonging to a thin, elderly man wearing wide-rimmed glasses. A member of the Historical Society, no doubt. I know, Zesty. Zesty, the problem... I'm just going to interrupt really quickly here. I'm just going to say, this is a mod for Tabletop Simulator. The only problem is that the mod was eventually shut down by FFG. So, if I can briefly, if you'll briefly indulge me, all the campaigns, but then it says, you know, the Innsmouth Conspiracy coming 2020, that expansion is like out just now. But they also have like a bunch of side missions. They have like a bunch of, I don't know, encounter sets, chaos, like it's beautiful. Taboo cards were added. Oh, it's beautiful. But it'll never quite be finished because now they're not allowed to work on it anymore. The one person who made this. Ella, come on. There you go. Sorry, so what was I doing? Yes, right. Someone snuck up behind us. Seth whips around, blasts him with arcane energy, shoots him with a gun, stabs him with a... Just kidding. You explain to this thin, elderly man that you're searching for a hidden library somewhere in the manor, although you purposefully leave out why. He introduces himself as Mr. Peabody, the Historical Society's curator. I'll help you find what you're looking for, he explains, but only if you tell me what this is all about once we get there. You hope it doesn't come to that. Seth's mind is like, yeah, sure, old man, I'm sure I'll tell you all about it. She's already sharpening a blade, thinking, not that she has to put him out of his misery or anything, but just that if he asks too many questions. She's not a murderer, but she might have to threaten people to keep a few mouths closed, you know? For each revealed Historical Society location, add a clue to it. Okay? I will do that. Let's do that first. So there's a clue here, and then I'm putting a clue, up to a maximum of its clue value, right? Yeah, to a maximum of its value. So this already has 2 on it, so I don't put more in the storage room. Choose an investigator to take control of Mr. Peabody! And put into play the hidden library. I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to take Mr. Peabody. Oh, we have a friend! This is so charming. I'm so happy for Seth. We're advancing to Act 3A. After the investigators advance to Act 3, spawn a set-aside Keeper of the Oath. There is another one, so I'm going to spawn him up here in the other 3rd floor space. Act 3A. The building is very old and filled with all manner of secret passageways, Mr. Peabody explains. Perhaps one of them will lead to this library you're looking for. Secret passageways? Perhaps one of them will lead to this library you're looking for. Locations with the... Damn it, passageway trait are connected to one another. Oh, son of a... So, this passageway... Sorry, okay. So this meeting room is now connected to the storage and the archives. Exactly. Which also means, technically, if any of the enemies end up here, here, or here, they still steal clues for me if I'm in a passageway. While an enemy is moving, hidden library gains the passageway trait. Most of the researchers in the Historical Society don't even know of this library's existence. Sorry, Crosshair, I think you mean beefy, oathy boys. There are now 2. It's getting tricky. Objective. Only investigators in the hidden library may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. So I need 3 clues, and I need to be in the library. So I need to find some clues. I need to avoid getting murked by the beefy boys coming for me here. So, oh, that's really rough. Okay. I'm just gonna have some water here, folks. whilst I think. Beefy Botham. Botham. So Mr. Peabody will help us find what we're looking for. He explains that there's all sorts of secret passageways and things, and they're now connected to each other, so I can kind of bounce around between them. Hidden library does not have any traits on it, but it gains passageway while enemies are moving, so enemies are allowed to move there. Mr. Peabody, let's have a look at this old man. Oh, he's the Historical Society curator. Action. Exhaust Mr. Peabody. Choose a location. It gets -1 shroud and gains the passageway trait. Okay. So in other words, I can use Mr. Peabody to give the hidden library passageway so that I can move from, say, the meeting room into the library. The problem, of course, with that is that then I am stuck. I'm not stuck there, but like I need 3 clues. I wonder how many clues are on the library. Okay. But before we continue, we need to figure out what the heck we're doing here. We used our lockpicks to get a clue. We advanced. It's good. I've still got these visions in your mind death, and I want to play this lone wolf. I also kind of want to play this pickpocketing. Should I just take the damage in the horror? Ew. If I move into the library now, there's no way it'll have 3 clues on it. Yeah, no, there's just no way. So, instead, I'm going to get ready to take on the Keeper of the Oath by playing Lone Wolf. And then taking a resource back. Seems really lame, but that's what I'm going to do. Despite the old man's warm demeanor, the building contains many secrets. I will show you some, but even I don't know them all. Sounds a bit like from Diablo. Stay a while and listen. Whoa, I don't know about Tristram, but you need to... What's that guy's name? I don't even know. We like to party. The beefy boys are coming. The beefy boys are jumping. The top floor to the basement. A smash your face ailment. Deckard Cain. That's the ticket, RJ Cody. Thanks. I'd forgotten entirely the guy's name. There have been many demons in the town of Tristram. It's not great, but it's okay. Okay, this is rough. Thanks, Zesty. The beefy boys are coming. I did not perform a move action this turn, so I'm going to discard visions in your head. I'm going to take a direct damage and a direct horror. Okay. Now things are getting horrifying. Now things are getting really tough. Okay. The beefy boys are coming, and they're jumping from top floor to the basement. It's to smash your face ailment. The boards of stairs are creaking. The beefy boys are shifting. So if you like to party, yes, surrender up your body. I can identify that for you. I mean, I obviously need to play any of the Diablo games again to remember what Deckard Cain sounds like. Okay. I will say, folks, even if we don't win this scenario, I'm pretty proud of myself. We got to Act 3 without so much of a... Does that summon a demon, Zesty? I feel like it summons a demon. Okay. We need 3 clues and we need to be in the library, so I could rush back down to the basement, potentially. Okay. Oh, that's okay. I like that. We can find out what. We can find out what! So, even with Mr. Peabody, with her, Sefina is still a lone wolf. She knows she can get by. Oh, I see. I'm spooked, guys. No. Sefina is convinced that there are other people in the building now because this Mr. Peabody seems warm and inviting, and he doesn't seem like the kind who would just leave the door unlocked late at night. But she doesn't ask him. She doesn't want to... She wants to, you know, leave his mind at ease. Exhaust Mr. Peabody. Okay, so I can exhaust him. Okay. -1 shroud, passageway, whatever. Okay. That was the end of the investigation phase. I took a damage in a horror because the visions in her mind, death, caught up to her at last, and she forces herself to wrench her eyes away from what she is seeing here in the meeting room. What this Keeper of the Oath has come down to the ground floor. It shares a trait with my location, but I move a clue from my from me to it. It steals my clue, but I don't have anything fully. So we move into the upkeep phase, and we put our actions back, and we right here our lockpicks, and we draw a card and gain a resource. It's delved too deep. Victory points. Actually, I just noticed there's like no victory points on any of these locations. I wonder if that means you don't get victory points, and therefore I should be delving just before I get out of here. I don't know. Mythos phase, we don't place Doom on the agenda, but we do draw an encounter card. Uh-oh. Sefina is just about ready to leave the meeting room here, thinking, you know, there can't possibly be any secret passages in this room. Mr. Peabody urges her onwards. She thinks she hears some footsteps on the stairs, and indeed, stamping through the room, a robed man wearing some sort of flesh mask. A mask made of flesh, not like a face. The agent of the king. He's here, and he's ready to take your clues. This is someone who has been sent to discover as much as they can about the King in Yellow, and specifically put an end to those who... This is the person who's been sent to put an end to those who are trying to find more out. He's a hunter. He preys on the most clues. It says when you defeat Agent of the King, take control of its clues, but it shouldn't have any because in this scenario, it takes Doom instead of clues. Oof. Does damage and 2 horror. I think I'm going to have to... I don't know what I'm going to do here. That's rough. In the investigation phase, I gain a resource. I can know, and you can know! Okay. Plan. Forming. I'm going to put down pickpocketing. This provokes an attack of opportunity, which I'm going to cancel with narrow escape. That's a lot of actions. What just happened? Sefina grabs Mr. Peabody's hand and narrowly... Yeet, old man! We need him! We need him to find the hidden library! Which actually really sucks. Yeah, I think we need him to find the hidden library. Because the library doesn't have passageway by default. We protect. Sometimes we attack. Not Peabody, though. And sometimes we have an agent of the king as snack. Sefina dashes out from behind the door where she was hiding. She grabs Mr. Peabody by the hand, narrowly dodging as the agent of the king swipes at her with 2 rusty daggers. They look old, but not dull. She narrowly escapes here. Cancel an attack and you get +2 skill value for the next skill test you perform this turn. Well, the one I'm going to perform is an evade action. I'm going to evade. I'm a 4. +2 is 6 against 2. It's a -2, so I succeeded. I will exhaust pickpocketing to draw a card. Oh, shit. Okay, well, anyway, he's evaded. There's a dude here, which sucks too. This is a weakness. The Stars of Hyades. I'm going to talk through what's happening while we are... yeah. Okay, no worries, Crosshair. The Stars of Hyades goes back into my deck, and I have to randomly remove one of the events beneath her from the game. It's going to be this one. It's the backstab. That sucks. Okay. That sucks. So the pickpocketing didn't draw me anything. In fact, if anything, as Sefina ducks away, she tries to grab at his daggers, hoping to maybe disarm him or use them against him. Visions of stars, nebula, galaxies flash in front of her eyes, and she realizes that somehow this man is serving something far greater than himself. One look in his eyes tells her this cultist is not playing around. Last action, I should probably do something. I could fight and evade next turn. I could elusive away. I could just zip away. Maybe that's the right play. I get another turn, couple turns to like be ready. Yeah, I need to... They're all like hunting for me, but hopefully I can like get some more turns and get some stuff done, you know? Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna use... Oh, this is even fast. Is this what I want to do? Hashtag run. Hashtag run! Yeah, I'm gonna paint... oh, this gets removed from the game as well. I'm gonna paint my elusive. Sefina uses her, powers. She tried to grab the dagger out of the man's hands, and seeing the stars flashing before her eyes, realizes these are no ordinary burglars. These serve a greater power. Much as she did back at the manor, the cast party for the King in Yellow, she quickly whirls around, taking out of her pocket a small pencil. She scrawls on the wall an image of herself and Peabody safe in the dusty old archives down in the basement. Turning back around, they are there. Super burglars! Oh, I want a burger too. Somehow they were able to just get there. Peabody looks around, unsure what's happening. We're going to use our last action to investigate here and try to get this clues. Nope, that's a terrible idea, because then guess who's going to come and get it? This guy is going to come and steal my clues. So we're here. We have an action left, and I think I want to use it to try to get money. Yeah, because there's more money coming, right? In the enemy phase, this Keeper of the Oath hunts down. This Keeper of the Oath hunts down. I bought myself a turn anyway. This guy's gonna ready in the whatever phase. In the upkeep phase. Hello, Crosshair. In the upkeep phase, we ready our pickpocketing. Draw a card and gain a resource. It's a backstab. That's good. That's good. That's good. I don't have enough icons, but if I get more money, I can maybe do something here. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's potentially very good. No rats, Crosshair, but we managed to get away from all the spookies, the enemies. They're not spookies. Oh, I'm gonna have to deal with these keepers. By managing to escape with Mr. Peabody, he's looking at her like she's maybe some sort of witch. She waves it off. Keep looking. She goes and peers out into the hall. Creeping down it is a hooded figure with a beard. It's the keeper that's been stalking her this whole time. In the Mythos phase, I don't place Doom. But instead I do draw an encounter card. Sucks. If you have no clues, it gains Surge. That's fine. I'll do that. False Lead. If you have no clues, it gains Surge. That's fine. Visions in your mind. Failure. If you didn't perform a resource action during your turn... Okay, well, I want resources. When my turn begins, I get a resource from Lone Wolf. So is the game plan to try to just evade this guy and then deal with him next turn? Maybe? That's one possibility. So a whole bunch of possibilities. Sefina realizes now, by appearing in the basement where she could be safe, if only for... Oh, sorry, Lemira. Woof. Sorry, too much? Too much? Nah, I think you like it. I think we like it, folks. Man, is this a playthrough with a focus on roleplay and storytelling? I'm honestly not sure anymore. Sefina realizes she's painted, haha, herself into a corner down here in the basement. There's no easy escape. She's gonna have to deal with the enemies just waiting for her outside. She has visions of failing, being taken captive, perhaps, or worse, by these horrific beasts. They do, apparently, Lemira. I don't think they'd want to pay good money for this, though. Ooh, some rats. That wasn't really loud enough to be ASMR, I know, but not bad. I don't know, I don't really get the shivs. Shivers, not shivs. Doesn't matter. Okay, if I take your... Oh, it's true. Damn it, it's going on YouTube. Oh, sorry to all those watching later. Just horrific. Okay, I could take a clue, but then this guy's gonna come and steal the clue from me. What I need to do... If I take a resource, I'm just kind of treading water, which is fine. I get the shivs out, that's for sure. I'll never be able to play this Leo DeLuca, that's fine. Yeah, if I take a clue, this guy's gonna just steal my clues. So instead, I have to focus on dealing with all the enemies here. There's a 4-4-2 coming for me, there's a 5-3-3, and there's another 5-3-3. Absolutely horrific. If I take a resource, go in and evade, hopefully I can evade and draw a card. Is that the right play? Because otherwise he just walks in and punches me. A damage and a horror. It doesn't really do very much to me, though, and then at least I'm here in the room with him. Yeah, just let him punch Mr. Peabody. First action, I'm going to take a resource. I could put down Shriveling as well. Shriveling's not going to help anybody here. The meaty boy shuffles closer. Just horrible crosshair. Absolutely horrible. So I took a resource. Lemira is... Crosshair used Confuse. It's super effective. So Mr. Peabody is whispering desperately to her, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Who are these men? And she just goes, shut up, shut up. I need to think. She needs to figure out what to do here. I think we just need... Do we just need more cards? Yeah, I don't think we need the clue right now. And actually, I can't take the clue because I have a card in hand. I could move in, evade, and then start continuing, but that doesn't really... It maybe draws me a card if I succeed. And then I don't take any damage. That's okay, right? Yeah, let's do that. Because the next turn, hopefully, I'll have the tools required to deal with him. That's the hope. Sefina's going to rush out into the hall. She's going to try to deke this guy, basically. She's going to try to leap across the hallway so that he has to follow her instead of Mr. Peabody. He has 3 evade, and I have 4. That seems like a bad idea. Yeah, it seems like a terrible idea. What was I thinking? We're going to try it anyway. Yay! Okay, big evade. Hooray! The Keeper of the Oath doesn't know which way to go. He's confused. I'm going to exhaust pickpocketing to draw a card for myself. It's the other lone wolf. Bueno. In the enemy phase, enemies hunt down. This Keeper of the Oath meets up with this Agent of the King in the hallway. Both men, one wielding rusty blades, ready to draw blood for the king. The other, a scroll. Oh no, what is that? That looks like, oh no, that looks like a red hot poker actually, or something. Yikes. The Keeper of the Oath. The other one is They always work in pairs, you see. What oath is it that they must keep? They're here in the entry hall, and they are progressing down the stairs. It does. It looks like a... Actually, well, honestly, what it looks like is a femur with one end that's been heated red hot, but that doesn't really make sense. So someone else tell me what the hell is going on. In the upkeep phase, this is really rough. The Keeper of the Oath readies and engages me again. Pickpocketing readies, and I draw a card and gain a resource. It's a ward of protection. That's okay. Ew. In the Mythos phase, I don't add Doom to the agenda. Still. Which is so interesting, because there's basically, unless I'm misplaying this horribly, no enemies are able to steal clues because I don't have... I did! Thank you, Crosshair. My first action was to take a resource. So the failure is being kept at bay. Although I have a feeling I won't be able to do so for much longer. Mythos phase, though, we do draw an encounter card. Ah, here it is. Acolyte. Spawns at any empty location, and it gets a Doom. I'll just put him over here. Somehow, unless they've been coming in the front door. Oh! Hello! Vampire, the squadrons. I'll wait. I don't remember. Eternal Struggle. I was like, Vampire, the Elder Scrolls. This guy. Yeah, I know, eh? Well, let's have a look. What kind of resemblance? Oh, a hooded figure with a cup of blood. Vampire, the Empty Stomach. Oh, that's fun. I don't know anything about... yeah, no, but seriously. I don't know anything about that game. I was playing Vampire. Well, Dr. Surgeon was exploring his grandfather's history, I suppose. I'll take a look, though, John. Is it good? Tell me about it. In the meantime, however, either there have been cultists in the building all along, or they've started flooding in through the front door. There's now one searching this other ground floor location. It was only a small sacrifice. He has a Doom on it. That sucks. So that's the Mythos phase. Okay, we're back to the investigation phase where I gain a resource. Sefina is here in the basement halls, and she can hear a procession of feet descending the stairs. She was hoping to rush up that way. Turning around, she sees standing in front of the locked door the other Keeper of the Oath. He begins to move towards her with a shocking amount of... What's the word I'm looking for here? He begins to move towards her with an absolutely maddeningly slow pace. Decanted complete with an original stopper. Okay. Oh! Wow, Zesty. That's so coincidental. Coincidence? Oh, sorry, in the enemy phase, I guess. Oh no, he was evaded, so it's fine. That's really interesting. Zesty, I really like that. Very cool. My only concern now, of course, is that I can't get clues till I deal with these enemies, but dealing with these enemies is going to be really difficult. Sneak attack will deal with this guy. So I could evade, draw a sneak attack. That's good. I think we need to just keep evading, maybe? I need to backstab this guy. Big backstab would be good. So I need money before I do that. Okay. Sefina. Again, this isn't... really incredible, Zesty. Like, what a coincidence. Sefina sees this Keeper of the Oath moving towards her with incredible stateliness at a slow, terrifying pace. She is terrified that of what he will do to her. Now, she is no athlete, you know, she's an artist. She's made her vast amounts of money forging art. But she has a bit of an athletic streak to her, and she's definitely got the desperation in her mind right now to be able to try something pretty crazy. She's going to charge headlong at him and attempt to jump around him. In the meanwhile, pulling out her switchblade, she's hoping to dodge around him and then pull off an absolutely maddening stab in the back to kill him. That's the hope here. So we're going to attempt to evade. I'm a 4 evading. I'm going to throw in this lone wolf, because I am a lone wolf. I'm going to evade. Elder Sign. Absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. We're going to evade the Keeper of the Oath, and we will exhaust pickpocketing to draw a card, which I may regret. I definitely do. This is this is the man in the pallid mask. He spawns at the location furthest from all enemies, which is up here in the 3rd floor. I say that a lot, Lamyra. I know. I'm sorry. So it's a big evade. Hooray! I also get to choose an event beneath Sefina and draw it, which I wanted to do anyway, so I will take the sneak attack. Then I will take a resource to keep these visions in my mind failure off my back. And last action, a backstab. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So again, Sefina's run up the wall. She's managed to get around him so that he's going to have to turn around to get to her. Before that, though, she's hoping to sink her switchblade into his back, or neck in this case, actually. Take him out in one fell swoop. Backstab fights using agility instead of combat, so I'm fighting at 4 agility versus the 5 of Mr. Keeper of the Oath. However, I'm going to use my Streetwise to pump that up to a 7. And if I could, I would commit another icon. I will commit this, so I'm fighting at an 8. Let's go. Tablet is -2. Yeah, so that's 6. V5. Woo! 3 damage. The blade sinks between his shoulder blades, and the man just silently keels over onto the ground. Now, of course, this does mean I've got some big problems coming in here. Coming in fast, folks. We're not liking this. The visions in my mind failure doesn't trigger because I am not a failure. I took a resource. I did the thing I had to do. However, in the enemy phase, so she's managed to leap and absolutely take this guy out. The Keeper of the Oath is dead. Ella, what are you doing? Instead, though, those feet descending the stairs. Come on. There you go. Around the corner looms another Keeper of the Oath, another hooded figure, and the man with the 2 knives. They both attack her, straight up. Move one of your clues. Takes a clue. I don't have any clues, so 1 damage and 1 horror goes on Mr. Peabody, and then I take the other damage and 2 horror. Things are getting a little spicy here, folks. We move into upkeep. We ready the pickpocketing. I wish I could have canceled that. I draw a card. Fuck. This is Unspeakable Oath, the Curiosity. Oh no, when the game ends or if you're eliminated, you earn 2 fewer experience. Plus side, I'm not currently earning any experience. So maybe this just lives in my hand forever. I could use lockpicks on a location or something, maybe. Ooh, this is potentially very rough stuff here, folks. We're gonna find out. So the Keeper moves back into the dusty archives. It's true! Yay! It really went fast, Crosshair, but I guess this makes sense. The Keeper of the Oath moves to grab Mr. Peabody, who is beginning to panic. This man is not the kind of person who is designed for, fighting, while the Agent of the King rushes down Sefina, slashing at her with his rusted blades. I drew a card and I gained a resource. So we go back to the mythos phase where I don't place any doom on the agenda. And now rats! There's one doom in play because of the acolyte. There's a lot of enemies in play though. Excuse me. Cats are gonna knock over everything. Let's draw an encounter card. It's the Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. I have to take the 2 damage because I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. I know, Zesty. Okay, that's 2 damage, so I'm now... The shadow looms up over Sefina, and she feels herself tumbling backwards, falling deep into a pit. She can still see the Agent of the King swinging blades at her, and she feels the cut appearing across her stomach. Takes 2 damage. That sucks. Okay, that's why you want to have clues, right? It's just they're going to be stolen anyway, so there would have been no point. We move back to the investigation phase. Get a resource. Yeah. I'm not dead. I'm almost dead, but I'm not dead. I am dead as soon as Visions of Her Mind goes off. Oh, no! Oh, gosh, alrig. Okay, no, that's it then, right? Here's what I'm thinking. If I had the ability to elusive away, I would, because then I'd be free of them. I could evade, move, and resign. So at least I don't get defeated. Here's as a reminder of the rules of the game here. Sefina is down here in the basement hallway, surrounded. One of these hooded figures is, you know, putting a bag over Mr. Peabody's head and dragging him away. This robed figure is slashing at her stomach with rusted knives. And Sefina realizes she has to get the hell out of there. So I would need 3 clues to advance. There's like lots of enemies on the board. I got absolutely murked by that Hunting Shadow. So if I take an action other than fight, evade, parlay, or resign, I take attacks of opportunity from these enemies, which means I would take a bunch of damage and I would die. I can't put all of it on Mr. Peabody. If I evade one of them, I could then move up to the entry hallway and resign. I would take an attack of opportunity, but I would just kill Mr. Peabody. So, here's the plan. Is it a good plan? No. It is actually terrible, but we're doing it anyway. First action, we're going to evade this Agent of the King. Here it comes. Big boom, done. She slips. No, because my third action would be my plan here, Crosshair. My third action is to get the hell out of the house, and then everything else. The game ends. You don't have to worry about anything else, because then it's not the end of the round. Like the game's done. Sefina, clutching her bleeding, bloody stomach, manages to kick the knives out of the hand of the Agent of the King, and as he stoops down to retrieve them, she makes a mad dash for the entry hallway upstairs. I'm going to take a damage and a horror, which I will put on Mr. Peabody, which will kill Mr. Peabody. Sorry, bud. And then third action, I'm going to resign. Sefina dashes out of the house. That was way too close. She hears the muffled cries of the old man as a bag is placed over his head, and he's dragged away. Probably, she reasons, probably to extract information on the hidden library that they so desperately need. The cultists, that is. Whew, that sucks. Okay, that went from like good to poor really fast. Okay. I got the first 2 out of 3 acts done ASAP. Clue, advance. Clue, advance. Got a bunch of enemies coming towards me? No problem. I'll just, and then all of a sudden, 4 enemies. Technically 5, but this guy doesn't do anything. Not hungry, not dead. Let's read our resolution. You barely escape the building with your body and mind intact and free and flee to safety. The night's events have left you exhausted. You were unable to learn anything at the Historical Society's manor that could drive your investigation forward. Whoever those intruders were, they must have been looking for the same information you were. Distraught, you find your way to the closest bed you can find, in Ma's boarding house, not too far from the Historical Society. Sefina obviously is a fancy, classy lady. She normally wouldn't stay in a boarding house, but desperation, right? Dawn breaks as you reach the boarding house, the front doorknob and ferns on the porch covered in dew. You're lucky enough to get a vacant room for the day, and soon you're fast asleep. Suddenly, you're falling. Above and all around you, a blinding radiance flares like an inferno. Your head twinges with pain, and your vision swims with brilliant colors. Your skin is singed by the flames. Below you, the abyss opens and swallows you whole. You then find yourself in a dank, windowless cell, filled with a putrid stench. A man is huddled in the corner of the room, shivering from the cold or from the hopelessness of his situation, or perhaps both. No mask, he mutters over and over. No mask, no mask. 2020 vibes, am I right? You take a few tentative steps forward, but before you can reach him, the metal slot on his cell door slides open, and you hear an orderly call to him. Daniel, it's time, he says. Daniel, wake up. Wake up, Daniel. Then you awaken. In your campaign log, record that the followers of the sign have found the way forward. I'm going to write that down. Each investigator... okay. Each investigator earns Victory X of the cards in the victory display. There are none. There was 1 point on the board, and I didn't destroy it. My plan was like evade, sneak attack. Boom, you're dead, boom. Each investigator earns a bonus experience as they gain insight into the machinations of the King in Yellow. However, Unspeakable Oath Curiosity says when the game ends, you earn 2 fewer experience. So, I don't earn negative experience, but I do earn 0. If Sebastian Moreau, blah, 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 blah. Remove all tokens from the bag. Not all tokens, all cultist, tablet, and elder things. Add 1 cultist, tablet, elder thing. Scenario 4 is called the Unspeakable Oath. Okay. Well, that was pretty exciting. That was certainly quite unexpected. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, let's talk about what went wrong. I need money to power all of the events in my deck. I didn't have any. I don't have a ton of money stuff in my deck, but I didn't find any of it, unfortunately. I did manage to get my lockpicks out, which meant I was able to get clues down pretty quickly. In hindsight, of course, I should not have put down the second lockpicks. It didn't do anything for me other than that 1 clue that one time. I should have been focused probably on drawing things, playing things, getting resources so that I could then, potentially have what I needed. Because I didn't have the money or the cards to be able to deal with the enemies as they came to me, unfortunately. Lamyra is correct. The only disappointing part was the knife to the stomach. She's okay, folks. Sefina's okay. She wasn't defeated. She resigned, so I still have just the 1 mental trauma. Yippee. That's a good point, Zesty. I mean, here... Crosshair is correct. If you can read what Crosshair has written here, it is very true. That's a good point. Zesty, I will point out, it is a card game. If you don't find the cards you want, it's as if they were never in your deck in the first place. It could have been any card, because you never drew it. Hence the pickpocketing. Pickpocketing allows you to, draw cards if you evade and whatever. It's generally pretty good, but of course I drew into my weaknesses. Whew, that was lucky. When your turn ends. Yeah, I'm just going to check the rules on that, Crosshair, because you're now kind of making me wonder whether if resigning actually ends the game, but I'm 99% sure that it does. Resign says the investigator is eliminated by resignation, it is not considered to be defeated. So you're eliminated immediately. Everything else kind of falls by the wayside. Okay. Well, hey, thanks, folks, for tuning into this new, very exciting live episode of Doomed, in which we really took our time exploring the Arkham Historical Society, found some clues, found some stuff, was able to find Mr. Peabody. Ooh, oh, a hidden library. What's that? Boom! Just showered in enemies. Just horrible. Just cultists everywhere. There's knives. There's weird red-tipped batons. There's cultists. There's all sorts of crap. Yeah. Thank you, though, for joining me, because that was a lot of fun, actually. I had a really good time. So I do want to say Tuesday evening is my next stream time. Well, quick promo, of course. Tomorrow, Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern is Punchy Book Club. 6 p.m. Eastern is Star Wars Reach on twitch.tv/RPG Clinic. I'm going to... Oh, thank you, Crosshair. Crosshair is already on the promo, of course. Thank you, Crosshair. Monday will most likely be the Coolian streaming. Tuesday, I will be streaming from 6 to 8. The question is whether I will be streaming the 4th scenario of this campaign of Doomed, or whether I'll be able to get the game working that I want to. Or perhaps I'll just start something new. Who the hell knows? The thing is, if I don't want to ruin or spoil anything, but the 4th scenario of this campaign marks a turning point in the campaign. It marks an important chapter, shall we say. And because it is the midway point in the campaign, it can divide your campaign in half, shall we say. So I'm tempted to do that on Tuesday night just to see what kind of outcome we get there. That's what I'm tempted to do. We're going to find out. As Crosshair has posted, of course, check the Discord if you want any more information. For those of you watching on the VOD, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, etc., put them in the comments section down below. Again, if you're watching on YouTube. And for those of you who are watching live with me, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be playing this game that I feel that I'm good at until I'm terrible at it. I did misplay. The second lockpicks was really silly. I didn't need that. I could have been drawing cards or making money in that time. Just a couple extra actions I didn't really need. Oh, how colonialist. Well, Kung Fu Fenris, I hope that the Crusader Kings bring you all the pleasure that you need, okay? Agent York is in front, and I am in the rear. Well, that's all I'm going to say for today, folks. Tune in to us here. Okay. Tune in, check on Discord for any other information that you want, and stay tuned for additional episodes of Doomed or other streams here on this channel. And hopefully a spooky movie night a little later in the month of spookiness. And that's all I'm going to say. My mind is tight like a drum. You could bang it if you wanted. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Oh my God. It's like a trip down horrifying memory lane. We're going to have a great rest of the day, folks. Be well, be safe, take care of yourself. Water, warm, other W's, winning. No, I'm just kidding. Have a wonderful rest of the day, folks. Together here, we're doomed. In your lives, you don't have to be. Bye.